Yes, how to create a user in SAP. Well, we want to start by heading out to the space button. You say SU01, SU01, and actually it's going to say enter, and it's going to take you to user maintainer. So SU01 is called user maintainer. This is where you maintain the user. So you can see here, there's an enter, it creates user, and it gives you the change. Basically anything you want to do with the users, any information about the user, you display, you delete user, you copy, you can lock user in any case, you can change password if you want, and cancel and so on and so forth. And this is the menu into the system. Okay, now let's say we want to create a user. Um, the name this time I want to say Paul, right? So to create Paul, just go right here, you right click, you just click on it, and it's gonna give you this page. You wanna change the gender to male or female or whatever you want. Right? You wanna put Paul again, Paul. The rest feed actually is optional, and yeah, you wanna leave it as is. You continue to the log on data, and there is where you want to leave it as is. Here it's actually user type in SAP system, which we'll talk about next time. The dialog user, system user, communication user, reference user, and service user. The dialog user is the main user basically that every user uses, and when we're using your phone, you're a dialog user. So this is the dialog user. We leave it that way. You want to add the password, initial password, and if you are SAP consultant, SAP Basis consultant, you're asked to create a user. That's how you do it. You give this initial user's password to the user, and the user will eventually change the password later. So let's give the user's password. And the second one, you repeat, and do that. You wanna enter. So you see, user pool is created. So we're done. So you wanna go back to the system. You wanna basically log off from the system. You wanna log on with your master user. So I guess you wanna you basically go back to your logon pad and come back. And we're using the default client. You wanna log on Paul, and you wanna put on the password. So now it will ask you to change the password to personal one. So whenever you log on the first time, it's going to give you this information, actually the license, how far your system is licensed, and all this information so that you can be aware. And now we're now logging on Paul. How do you find it? You wanna basically stretch shot to right here. It's where you find the information. This is the client 00 default. Paul is logged on, and application server development. And you've got, of course, the program name, the transaction section, and so on and so forth. And so that's what you find it not in the system. Now, the system cannot access anything because, like you can see here, you try to go back to SU1. It's not giving you any access because your access is denied. So you are not authorized to use transaction code SU01. So how do you mitigate that? So to do that, I want to first of all log off from Paul's log on part, and you wanna, of course, this is the part. This is another log on. Let's use another. This is 00. Use Mac. Mac has access to everything, so I want to use its own. Want to go back to SU01 for Mac, and then want to go to Paul and want to change. Want to give rights to Paul. How do you give some rights to Paul so that you can access the system? So we just created this user just now. We want to go to basically the profile, and here you want to put in SAP underscore all. So capital SAP underscore all, and you wanna enter. So all SAP authorizations. Yeah, so be sure, just double click. You're gonna give you here SAP or SAP or all SAP system, all SAP system authorization. So I'm going to go back to the system and just hit save. Now the system is now safe. You want to exit. Now when you log on the system, when you log on, when they use pour, you want to say enter. Then when you now go to SU1, it's going to show you right there. You now access is now given in, right? So now that you have done that, so how do you, as SAP consultant, one of the problems is many do not understand. How do you know whether or not where to find your users, the details of it? Where to do that, you want to head out to SE16. You go behind the scene to the table, and you want to say enter. Then it gives you that page. You want to go to SURO 01. When you do that, you want to enter SURO1. Sorry, USR 01. Yeah, so USR01. Let's try that. So it's gonna give you that page. So USR1 is more like where your data, your table where users are stored. So when you are here, don't do anything, just execute. It's gonna give you the page. It's gonna show you the mandate is the name called, is what SAP uses for clients. Is we see the default client is 00 client, 000 client, and the B name, these are the users. So these are the users you have in the system. We have a tester user, this is a master user, and this is DDIC is a master user, and we just had pour, and basically here is the T code, here is the spool, another word printer. So when you assign a printer to pour, it's going to show here, right? So here, for example, is a device type. You know, this printer shows again, guide the device type, and the printer also here shows the output behavior, so to speak, and so on and so forth. So here, basically, you can see what is in the system, so that you know you can have a full control of the system. So now let's try to see, how do you just play around with the system? How do you create a spool, this printer to it? How do you connect printer to the system? Well, I want to go back to system, want to zit, yes, and go back to pour. We're not in pour right now. Want to basically go back to SU1 and get back to pour. Then we change and to basically to add printer to the system. It's actually very easy to do that, right? You go to default, and when you're on the default, you find here spool, or another word printer, right? You can either, you want to go here and hit on that space, and you say search speed printer is gonna, your printer, your home printer is gonna show out. You just click on it, you save, and you actually either delete after print, or you leave it now and you save. And by so doing, you just set up your printer. So whenever you finish with that, you can then, when you finally come to the table SE16, and under USR1 table, and you go enter and execute, you're gonna find out that pour the given, of course, a printer, basically right here. So that's how you do it. And the last point is, how do you delete pour? For example, you made a mistake, you have done some blunder in the system, in the live system, which of course shouldn't be. SU01 is the manager, so user management, you want to quickly go there and delete pour. Right now we want to delete pour. User pour is to be deleted. So yes, I'm going to take a little bit, and then it's going to delete it out of the system. So you see, user pour has been deleted. So there's no way you can access the system anymore, right? So you can user pool can access anything anymore. Let's say we try to go back to log into a user pool, and so see, yeah, name or password is incorrect. See, so you can't remember it, right? Try again. You see, so pool is out of the system, so you can't find it anymore. So this is how you create a user, delete a user, assign printer to a user. I hope you enjoyed this one, and yeah, like and subscribe and follow me for more.